And y'all who don't have a shot mask, get one, okay?
Amen.
Get one. Get one, get one. And you're saving lives, helping us get back our lives and our loved ones.
But several communities are adding new restrictions, once again, either requiring or recommending masks indoors, even for vaccinated people, and not just for adults. The American Academy of Pediatrics calling for all children 3 and older to be masked up at school, even if they're vaccinated, which conflicts with guidance from the CDC. So are mask mandates making a comeback? And what about other restrictions? Will they try to resurrect to protect Biden's promise for a swift comeback? Let's get into it with tonight's panel. The Federalist senior editor, Christopher Bedford, Democratic strategist, radio host, and Fox News contributor, Leslie Marshall, and Independent Women's Forum senior fellow and District Media Group president, Beverly Hallberg. Great to see one and all of you. Chris, to you first. It just seemed like the mandatory wearing a mask indoors in Los Angeles County, parts of Nevada, and the like, the reason the market sold off yesterday is because investors are worried about these power-hungry politicians bringing back lockdowns, bringing back restrictions, trying to hang on and cling to all the power that they rung up or built up over the last year and a half.
Yeah, out of all the things that they've brought back, Dagan, some of which have really inconvenienced a lot of people, are actually just taking away people's liberties once again without any goalposts. One that brought some lightheartedness to the matter was the repetition that the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, was going to kill everyone in Florida with his open policies. To see that one resurrected was just unbelievable after every single doomsday prediction that's gone through. So the good news for the Delta variant in the American population is that because so many of the elderly and the vulnerable have received vaccination in this country, which even if you do catch it, will make it a lot less severe, it seems so far. Because of that, the death rate is simply not following. Right now in the United States, the death rate for COVID-related diseases is less than 1/5 of heart disease, less than 1/5 of cancer, significantly less than car accidents, even less than Alzheimer's and some diseases which are terrible but don't take that many lives. The idea that they're trying to pull this back is completely unsurprising. I'm surprised that we've been able to get so free so far so quickly, given their love of control. But there is a real hesitation in the American people, and so long as they are going to crush information and dissent, I think that will continue.
Leslie, is that because you're bringing back a mask mandate? Where are you? You're in Los Angeles County. They're bringing back the mask mandate for even people vaccinated indoors. How does that encourage people to get vaccinated?
First of all, here in Los Angeles County, we look to science and to doctors, and it's the healthcare workers whose liberties have really been infringed upon this past year and continue to be when people don't want to mask up, don't want to get vaccinated, or don't want to social distance. And that's what we're seeing again, the numbers surging. So we in Los Angeles County, most of us here, myself included, we don't have a problem masking up. Remember, the scientists, the physicians have said the Delta variant is stickier in the lungs. And even though you may not die, people who are not vaccinated, who make up between 95 and 90% of the hospitalized patients throughout the country right now, we have people 30 to 55 who are hospitalized in ICU on ventilators. We have 2 children on life support in Mississippi. So, people may talk about, my liberty's being infringed upon. But at the end of the day, we are supposed to all be in this together. This is not and should not be political. This is a pandemic. It never went away. We never got rid of COVID. And we were told from the beginning that this virus, because any virus does, the reason we keep having new flu shots, a virus mutates. And we know a virus is going to mutate in order to survive. And that's what it's doing.
Well, we're hoping that it mutates so it might be contagious, but it becomes much less deadly in that fashion, Beverly. But the issue is there are 3 prominent vaccines right now. And so you're asking vaccinated people to protect people who choose not to get vaccinated. So at some point, it's like, I choose to get vaccinated, but you have the vast majority of elderly people who are most at risk vaccinated. It's about 80% fully vaccinated over the age of 65. If you're talking about the very elderly, it's about 90%.
Yeah, it has been the elderly who have realized the risk that they have and have been vaccinated. I am pro-vaccinations. However, I am in the camp of unvaccinated, and here's the reason why. And this is why open information is so important. Part of it is I have antibodies. I'm also a long hauler. I've been dealing with the effects for quite a few months, but I also have an autoimmune disease, and I want to know what this vaccine could mean for an autoimmune disease. I was very encouraged to see Moderna come out today and say they're going to do a clinical trial for pregnant women. What does this mean for miscarriages? What does this mean for babies if their birth mother did receive the vaccine? I think what the American people are asking for is just give us more information. The media have tried to make this about these are Trump supporters who are not taking the vaccine. The data does not prove that. I think what Americans want is just more transparency, and the masks fit into this. They've been told so many things over the years or over the past few months, and I think what Americans are saying, let me make a choice for myself, and I'll just say this to you, Dagan, I know you're vaccinated. As an unvaccinated person, I don't expect you to wear a mask. I realize I'm taking my health into my own hands.
I also had COVID recently. I had it in March. I went ahead and got vaccinated, but there wasn't any middle ground for people who had antibodies. It was either like if you wanted to go to a concert here in New York City, it was you're either fully vaxxed or you're some anti-vaxxer. And open communication about this, like just to dismiss people who question or want more answers about a vaccine, to dismiss it as misinformation does nothing to convince them to get vaccinated. And I'll point out to the 2 NFL teams that were not even 50% vaccinated. I will point out to the 30% of illegal migrants at the border who were refusing to get vaccinated. They weren't getting that from Facebook. This is a bigger problem, and I will end with this. I know I'm going to see you guys later, but if you go back to last fall, if you want to talk about politicizing the vaccine, it was the fear-mongering from Kamala Harris, it was the fear-mongering from Joe Biden, it was the fear-mongering from an Andy Cuomo about the Trump vaccine that discouraged a whole hell of a lot of people maybe from getting it. So that's on them. Maybe you wonder why you missed your target on the vaccines. Look in the mirror. Panel, we will see you shortly.